Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. This is going to be a birthday message for Aries. What's going on, Aries? How are you guys doing? I hope you are doing well. Well, my friends, as the title said, as I just said, happy birthday to you, Aries. Welcome to your solar return. Welcome to your big special day. How are you? How is it? How will it be? Excuse me, if you're an Aries who will be celebrating later on in April, maybe even at the tail end of your season in April, whenever your birthday is. I hope it is an amazing day full of love and affection. And if you know me, my friends, you know what I'm about to say. If there's cake and ice cream, please have some for me because that is my favorite dessert. I absolutely love it. No offense to people who love pies or sorbets or, cake or ice cream separate. Put them together. It makes this wonderful treat. So if you're having any of that or, whatever you fancy, carrot sticks, I don't care. I just hope it's a wonderful day for you. I do this obviously once a year for all of the zodiac, so it's your time again, Aries. So it's a little different, but similar rhythm as I usually keep here on my channel. 6 cards will come out. We'll read them all. They all have a specific position or meaning in the birthday reading, so we'll go over that as we go along. But just the finer details. I want you guys to know that your girl has joined Instagram. So if you are a social media hound and you love following tarot readers or anything on your Instagram, go ahead and look me up. It is EmpathicFire Tarot over on Instagram. So if you want to, you may follow me. There'll be a graphic right about there. You can go ahead and screenshot it so you don't forget, something like that. So drop me a follow if you wish. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe and comment here on YouTube if the messages resonate with you. Down below, you will find the timestamp if you want to jump ahead. You also get an oracle card as well as the spread that we're going to do today, and the information you need to order a reading, order, whatever you want to call it. All that is down below as well, okay? All right, I've shuffled off camera, meditated off camera to sort of kind of save time, but you know me, I'm a chatty Cathy. I don't know when to shut up. So let's go ahead and get reintroduced to your energy, then we'll lay the spread, then we will read the spread, okay? Aries birthday messages, please. I want to see Aries birthday messages. Please show me. I want one bridge, I think. Okay, one bridge. Yeah, they like that. That was good. All right, let's see what comes out for you. Aries birthday messages, please show me. Ooh, got a little chunky at the end there. Birthday messages for Aries at this time. You don't have much to say? Do you want to be left alone during your birthday? There it is. Okay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No bottom of the deck. We will have an oracle that sort of supplements that. Maybe one day I'll change this spread. I only do it once a month, so it's not really all that adventurous. Does it need to be? I wonder. All right, so kind of get it looking. I don't know why I'm straightening it when I have to flip them all anyway. And again, happy birthday to you guys. I actually, I didn't look at my notes because, I don't memorize like the specific endings and beginnings of each zodiac sign. So today's April 21st. So if you're April 20th and you consider yourself an Aries, I apologize for not publishing this on the 20th. I actually have it written down in my notes that, I consider Aries to go from the 20th to the 22nd of April, or excuse me, the 21st of April. The 21st of April. So I apologize for anyone who was born on the 20th of March. Did I say May? Whatever I said. It's been a day, guys. It's been a long day. I'm finishing this up with your birthday message. But if you do celebrate on April 20th and you consider yourself an Aries, I apologize for missing your day. I wish you a happy birthday as well. You're technically on the cusp of Pisces and Aries, so maybe you got the best of both worlds. Maybe you can consider yourself both zodiacs. Who knows? Anyway, Aries, here we go. Let's go ahead and flip this over, or flip all these over. Hey, that was showing up when I was meditating and pre-shuffling. So I'm curious what that's gonna mean for you overall. Oh, you have an interesting one. Just like tonally. Oh, do I have to like move these down? I guess. Because that is like, mm. I'm having a moment. And don't mind me. I'm having a moment here. And I know, Aries, you want to be treated like, number one. But I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of a, there we go. There we go. It looks good. Feels good. I apologize for delaying you, my mighty Rams. Please forgive me for futzing around. Here we go. All right, Aries, you come in with the Four of Cups. Your second position will be the Two of Cups, Page of Pentacles, High Priestess, Wheel of Fortune, and Seven of Swords. I've never done that before, but those are your six positions. Your first position, Aries, coming into your reading is the Four of Cups, as I said. This position, you might as well consider this what you're bringing with you into your birthday season, sort of what you're already familiar with, and it might be something that's helping you, it might be something that's hindering you, but it is this familiar energy or this familiar circumstance. And well, it's not a nice one. I mean, it's not the most horrible thing you could have with the four of cups. Excuse me, four cups, five of cups. My bad, five of cups. But the fact that you're familiar with this already kind of makes you better equipped to conquer it or deal with it or find some resolution to it. Five of Cups is this crying over spilled milk uh, sentiment that tarot readers will often say. It's, lamenting and feeling sorrowful or regretful or even moping in some of your cases, but not all. That take that with a grain of salt. Not say, oh my God, I can't talk for the past few days. It's crazy. Anyway, not all of you are moping. Take it with a grain of salt. Not all of you are moping around and reflecting back on whatever you've lost, because that's the other thing about this card. You see the three cards in the foreground with this gentleman here, and he's really upset that those three cups are spilled over. But what he neglects to recognize is that two cups remain behind him. So there's some type of silver lining to whatever you've lost, Aries. If we're talking about the loss of a relationship, if we're talking about the loss of a job, if we're talking about the loss of money, if we're talking about, some loss in your own joy, in your own happiness, in your own, lust for life, so to speak, whatever it may be, there is something to salvage. If you want to quantify it, you've lost 3 out of 5. What is that? That's 60%. It's not the nicest thing to lose 60% and you're left with the 40% that remain. But just to quantify it, it's like a little more than half of what you had before is gone. Okay. And I don't know why I'm quantifying. Maybe some of you would, are like you're mathematically minded. I am not. So maybe that makes sense to you. But what I'm feeling here, Aries, is like this is meant to challenge you, if I'm honest. And I think that's really more tied to what I am understanding of what has transpired recently astrologically for the entire collective, not just Aries, not just fire sign, as I'm a Leo. So, we kind of vibe in that way. When things don't go our way, we get a little moody, right? So I'm thinking this is tied astrologically to what has happened in terms of Saturn. I believe Saturn was transiting through Pisces, and then it's in Aquarius, and then it goes back into Pisces or something like that. And that's all ridiculously difficult because the energy of Saturn is very stringent. It's very task oriented. It's very constrictive. It's a play by the rules type energy. And Pisces is this more free flowing, I wouldn't say expansive, but certainly hands off or dare I say, irresponsible energy. So it's this conflict of what is, having to reconcile our responsibilities and our duties with what might be against our nature of being a little bit more free, a little bit more heart-centered or emotional. Saturn is not about emotion. Saturn is about what makes logical sense, what makes practical sense, how to accomplish something efficiently. Pisces is not known for efficiency. And, so this clash of energies has, like I said, towards the collective, and this will, apply to all of you in your own individual ways, has really challenged individuals and challenged relationships and challenged sort of the status quo that we all find ourselves in. Your status quo in terms of your job, your status quo in terms of your partnerships and relationships, your status quo as in how you feel or treat yourself. There has been some type of loss. There has been some type of destabilization or upheaval that knocked three of those damn cups over and spilled their contents. A certain kind of earthquake, you know? has disrupted things in your life, or if not disrupted, like I said, challenged them. And Aries is not known to be a wallower. Aries is not known to be one who, licks their wounds for an extended period of time. You save that for the Leo. Leo does that. it's it's one of our traits. So I'm a little surprised to see the Five of Cups come in, but then again, that's relative, right? You spending 2 days feeling sorry for yourself might be the equivalent of the 2 weeks or 2 months, or in some cases for other signs, 2 years that people spend mourning the loss of something or not being able to necessarily, quote unquote, get over it, right? The Five of Cups in general, because those two cups remain in the background, is encouraging the questionnaire, the person who's getting the reading, the querent. Thank you, that's the word. The querent. The two cups in the back is encouraging the querent to recognize what they still have that remains, and then possibly understand that the three cups that were lost might be for the best. The cliched phrase of crying over spilled milk. How do we know that the milk that was in the cups that was spilled was even good? Perhaps the milk was spoiled. Perhaps the milk was, soy milk, and you were looking for whole fat milk, whole fat cow's milk. Maybe you needed goat's milk because you were trying a new recipe and the only thing available was almond milk. You know what I mean? So let's not, we have to consider the quality of what was in those cups to begin with. Is that worth lamenting? Is that worth crying over? Is that worth feeling like, oh man, I lost out on something? In the here and now, probably it feels like that for some of you. And again, this is kind of coming into your birthday period. So some of you have been dealing with this and reflecting on this energy for a while now. Again, some of you, I don't know who the hell is moping. And I'm not trying to call you out. It's just, I know that many Aries are going to hear that and you're like, I'm not fucking moping. Well, a few of you are. So whoever is moping, do it. That's your process. Don't feel ashamed. But for the others who are like, that ain't me, it's not you. It's for the one next to you. It's the other Aries in the room, okay? So the Five of Cups is leading you in. Your second position, Aries, you can kind of consider it your present moment, kind of like what's the focal point or the anchoring point during your birthday season, what is coming in that's going to help you or hinder you in that time. And you have the Two of Cups. There, it was focusing just as I began to lift it off. Well, here we go. I mean, the Two of Cups is right behind you in the Five of Cups, right? And here it is popping up in your present moment. So in terms of a relationship or some type of dating scenario, let's say, you may have broken up with someone, you may have, in some cases been divorced from someone, or, things never got off the ground, but lo and behold, there's something in proximity or someone in proximity that is a great match for you. Not in all cases, of course, take it with a grain of salt, even though this is specifically, your birthday message. It is not for you, the individual. It's for the collective of Aries. So please don't be like, hey, you said I would have a partner. Not all of you. But for some of you, there's someone in your proximity who's very much a match for you. And that can apply to dating, can apply to business, can apply to friendships. Two of Cups, a lot of readers, and they should call this a soulmate card. And I might call it that too. In this situation, I would go, maybe. But my caveat that I always say with soulmates is it doesn't have to be a romantic situation. One of my soulmates is one of my siblings, my sister. She's a soulmate. My brother might be one too. But we have this incredible connection, me and my sister. We have, huge highs and deep, deep lows, and we've grown together as women. We've grown together as adults, and it's just been a wonderful journey to experience alongside her. And we are so simpatico. There are times when I'll call her and she's like, oh, I was just about to call you, or I'll text, or she'll text me and I was like, oh man, I was about to text you just about that same topic. So we're in sync in a lot of ways, right? And that's the point of a soulmate, regardless of whether or not it's romantic. They are in sync with you. They are in step with you. You guys don't always agree. Sometimes you want to like, knock each other's blocks off. More often than not, or more often than I would like at this age in my life, I still want to knock my sister's block off. Not literally, very figuratively, but we still connect. So I hope that you're understanding the way that I use soulmate. It is not meant to be a cookie cutter, walk down candy lane. This is not some easy journey, any type of soul connection. It's just not. So please, 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 please know that when I say that word, again, take it with a grain of salt. So regardless of how that resonates to you, whether it's a friendship, whether this is a potential dating partner, whether this is some type of connection with a family member, it is significant and it's well matched. However, note the differences. To me, both of these look like female silhouettes. I suppose the brown-haired one could be identified as male, but more to the point, we've got a fair-haired, blonde-haired person and a dark-haired brunette person. So there's something about opposites here. There's something about you wouldn't necessarily suspect that this person is your match or that this person is a soulmate to you, okay? You would not necessarily suspect by looks alone, by the look of this person or by the look of you and how you both appear when you stand next to each other, that you would have that much in common. Does that make sense? And that's very interesting because I've always kind of thought that was interesting that, to me, the potential male on this card kind of looks like a female in a little bit of the sense. So that could be a surprise to you. Okay. And I'm not here to challenge anybody on their sexuality. I have no qualms about it. I got no dog in that race, but that could be an issue for some of you. Perhaps you are meeting a soulmate who is not the gender that you expected them to be. And that's definitely going to be shocking or destabilizing for some of you if you are not, quote unquote, open when it comes to your sexuality, whether that be you are heterosexual and now you're looking at someone who is your same sex or your same gender and you're like, wait a minute now, I've always, always been a lady who liked the company of a gentleman. Or vice versa. I've always been the lady who's enjoyed the company of a lady. But this man over here with his big burly arms and his big hairy man chest has really got me going. If that's your story, either way, run. I'm not going to tell you to run with it. I would, because, whatever. But this is what this feels like. This feels like, Aries, like the person who you might be meeting or who might be in your life right now, but you're just friends, you're just colleagues, you're just associates, you don't know them that well, but when you come around them, it's like speaking to an old friend. That's the whole point of a soulmate, is that you recognize them on a deeper level that, like I said with my sister, when you guys are in communication, not to say every time you talk it's going to be pleasant, but there's a rhythm to it. There's an ease to it. It's not like you have to think of topics to talk about. It's not that you have to search for common humor or common sensibilities, or it's not like you guys don't jive intellectually. All those things should flow normally or easily, I should say. There are hiccups because we all come with, different personality types, right? So not every time that you talk about a certain subject or you get together and have lunch, it's going to be fantastic. But for the most part, it's a copacetic relationship. Again, family, lovers, friends, it doesn't matter. But there is a significant relationship at the center, at the core of your birthday period, which is very interesting. Because over here, I feel like you're mourning the loss of something. Could have been a relationship. It doesn't have to be. But you were in a low. And then we see this rise. We see like this upturn in your energy with the Two of Cups. That's very nice. I like that for you. Anything else? There is, here's how, interesting. They're like, here's a clue. Here's a clue. You see the light, the beam of light that is between both of their foreheads, right? Or right above both of their heads in the center of the card there, right? And you see how the light follows a pathway down into the cups. There's an equitable or equal give and take here. You should not, excuse me, you clean this up, thank you. You should be able to discern who this person is because they will give freely into the relationship, no matter the type. Okay? They're not somebody who, you text them 4 times in a day or 4 times in a row and they don't respond back for 4 days. No, 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 no. It's a volleying back and forth. It's a, hey, how are you? Hey, what's going on? Oh, I was just thinking about this. And then you say something and then they say something and it's back and forth. It's back and forth. If you go out to dinner, this person might not go Dutch with you, but they'll be like, oh, I'll get you next time. You know what I mean? Whatever dating protocol or decorum you're looking for, they would match it. So if you want it to be 50-50, if you're more old-fashioned and you think one party should pay and the other person should not, and one party opens up all the doors and, pulls the seat out and does all that kind of stuff, this person will stand at the door and wait for you to pull it and open it if that's what you're into. You see what I mean? There isn't there wouldn't be too much of a discussion about what are we expecting here. I mean, maybe there would be just, because you might be shocked. Oh my, for those who are like, quote unquote, old fashioned, and you might be shocked that you found someone who agrees with that. We all have our own sensibilities. So if you're the type who thinks a man should pay for dinner, a man should pay for this, a man should pay for that, and a woman should be dolled up and beautiful and, whatever you believe in, okay? If you're, again, more modern and you're like 50-50, right down the middle, equal partners, they agree, okay? So that's another thing that they wanted me to point out. Now, your third card in your spread, if you haven't caught up to the rhythm of the bottom row, is future-oriented. What's going out with you? What are you carrying forward as you leave your birthday period? This would, again, be a hindrance or something that's helpful to you. And you have the Page of Pentacles. Could be an earth sign that you're dealing with. Oh, wow, I'm about to blank. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I almost blanked on that. I apologize. So they might be an earth sign. They don't have to be. Or they might have a child. Again, they don't have to. Pardon me, been talking all day. My throat is dry. Now, they don't have to be an earth sign and they don't have to have a child or children. They don't, whatever. But what I see is the priming, interesting word, priming, the beginning stages, the primary stages of something solid. The Page of Pentacles is investing, right? They could be an investor maybe in terms of their job, or they could work in the financial business or industry, something like that. But this is like cutting of teeth. This is just getting off the ground, not the relationship, like either the energy of the relationship or the person you're dealing with, or both. But an investor, somebody who smartly evaluates a scenario, evaluates the facts and the figures, evaluates the practicality of something, and then executes a plan. It happens slowly over time. Things develop slowly over time, like you would, put something in an investment account and it accrues interest and all that kind of stuff. That happens slowly over time. You invest $1,000 today. You don't wake up tomorrow morning and oh my God, I got 10 grand in my bank. Nope. It takes some time. So same thing here. This is an energy of smart fiscal moves and just smart methodical moves in life in general. If you are looking for a partner, or if you're looking to have an experience that's like wild and crazy and it's going to be, balls to the wall, this is not the person and this is not the scenario that's coming your way. What I see is something that's more down to earth. It's like a quiet passion, or if it's not about passion, it's about dedication. I wouldn't be, I don't know why I have to clarify this. And maybe some of you are expecting this. Maybe some of you are expecting like a wild romance, or meeting a friend who's just like, we have so much in interest, or so much common interests, so many common interests, thank you, that we're just going to go out every day and explore the world and everything like that. No, this is an energy that says, sure, we can explore the world, but we have to plan it. It's not, just go buy a plane ticket tomorrow. And considering what's still going on in the world, most people aren't buying plane tickets for a minute. Hello, COVID-19. Hello, coronavirus. But I'm trying to make maybe I shouldn't have made a joke about that because it is quite serious. But and perhaps that's why this is coming out, because they're projecting this is going to last for several more weeks, maybe even months. So maybe you might want to, because Aries is a very dynamic and energetic sign, not slow at all, not interested in things, growing over time, or at least growing at a pace slower than what an Aries would be comfortable with. This energy is slower than what you might be comfortable with or expecting or used to, right? Um, but it's good. It's so good. Look at that bright, shiny pentacle that this page is carrying. Look at that beautiful peacock sitting over to the side. It's beautiful. It's auspicious. It's vibrant. It's luscious. It is abundant. It is the beginning of abundance between you and this person. Again, whatever the relationship is. And for those who you don't have anybody on your docket, you don't have anybody on your dance card in terms of, I don't have any new friends, Jay. I don't have a new romance in my life, Jay. I don't have any new family members. If you're not sensing that this is someone new, brand new to your life, or that you're even open to meeting anybody, I think that this is just a turn in your attitude, Aries. For those where you're not connecting with anybody, this is just a turn in your attitude. When you have the Five of Cups in the first position, that is a slightly pessimistic energy, or an energy that is dismayed, that is displeased, or despondent. Thank you is the better word. Despondent with the current events. Then we get into this balance perspective, because that's the other thing about the twos in tarot. They represent balance. They represent, like I said, equality and equitable give and take, right? So if you have been sluggish, or you have been antisocial, if you have been avoidant of social situations, or you've just been a general crab apple and you've been biting people's heads off because of something that you lost personally, or some part of yourself that you lost personally, this Two of Cups could be a revival of balanced energy within yourself. And then you move forward baby steps, because pages take baby steps. They're not on horseback like the knights, and they're not the masters of queen and king. So they move much slower. So, as much as Aries is normally a breakneck speed zodiac sign, there is a slow revving up here on your first line. And the page does not have to be an external person. Like I said, for those where you don't have anyone in your life of significance, or who's new to you, or that you believe you have a soulmate connection with. This is you investing back into yourself. If you're lost back here, even though this is cups, if you did have a loss of money for whatever reason, this could be the eventual regaining and recouping of some money, and then being very careful going forward as to not overspend, as to not neglect certain bills and to default on loans or anything like that. This could be getting in concert with, because a soulmate, thank you, here we go, going back, for those who are like, I'm not dating anybody, I'm not, no, and you're skeptical, right? Okay, for those where you may have been skeptical, I didn't say this before, but add this to Jay's definitions of what a soulmate is. Soulmates also are not always for life. That's another thing that people, I think, get into their heads for whatever reason. Soulmates are not always a forever partner or a forever, relationship. Sometimes they come into your life for a moment, for a season, for a few days, for a few years, for a few months, whatever. So there is a potential for some of you. Like I said, this page could work in finance. And if you have had issues with your finances, you foreclosed on your house, you lost your job, your car got repossessed, not all three at once, for God's sakes, hopefully not, but any one of those things, or a combination of something else. There could be a person who is professionally trained, or recently was certified as, a personal accountant or something like that, because pages represent young, fresh, new energy, not totally nowhere near the mastership or the master status of a queen or a king, but they have some knowledge, or they're learning right now, but they're helpful. That's the thing about the pages. They're so excited and interested and earnest with their agenda to help, to assist, to learn, to grow, to prosper. They have the most hope and the most potential. Okay? They're not guarantees, they're potentials. That's why they carry the aces of all of their suits, right? One pentacle, the ace is in the page's hand, right? So this person has the potential, either as an individual based on their profession or in concert with you, in connection with you, to create something abundant. They have some semblance of knowledge, if not knowledge, experience, if not experience, just goddamn interest in helping you get out of whatever you've been in. For those where, like, again, you're in some type of financial bind, this person would be a great ally to you. Okay. Even if you only know them for a short period of time, they still can be a soulmate. That's the other thing about soulmates. You probably have more than one. Boom. Let's go ahead and move on. Your fourth position. Ooh, dinner is cooking. I smell that. Your fourth position, High Priestess. With the fourth position, Aries, you might as well consider this a gift or a present. What is coming in that you've asked for? Excuse me. What you've asked for, what you have worked for, and what you are now being rewarded with, or it's being bestowed upon you, so to speak. So, High Priestess, secondary major arcana for Cancer. Some of you could be dealing with a Cancer, but you don't have to be. You've wished for some type of clarity in this situation. You've wished for some type of understanding, some type of big, greater knowing with the High Priestess. Some of you have felt really adrift spiritually, or yeah, like spiritually, you've just been, pardon me, spiritually, you've been, yeah, back to the five. You haven't really known your path or understood your path or even considered it. Some of you for the first time, I take for granted that when I do these videos, everybody who watches them is someone that has seen them before. I should take into account, you may have never seen a tarot reading before in your life. You may never have seen me as a tarot reader before in your life. So there has been this, never in my life have I had blank, or never in my life have I ever thought of blank, or felt blank, or considered blank, right? That's how the High Priestess appears. She fills in those blanks in our lives where we've been confused or unsure, uncertain, because she has all of the knowledge, okay? So if you have had failed relationships, or one or two, three or four, five or six, in some cases, marriages that have gone the way of the dodo bird, right? You might be wondering, what is it? What is it about me? What is it about them? Why can't I make this type of relationship last in my life? I'm quick to love. I'm quick to fall in love. I'm quick to marry. I'm quick to let people into my life. Why do I do that? There might be some questioning of, why am I this way? Why is that happening or why does this keep happening in my life? It's like a pattern. It's like a broken record. And there is some saltiness, if I'm honest, there is a little bit of saltiness as you're having these questions, because Aries, again, you like to feel as if you can do anything. You like to be in control of yourself, of your circumstances. And when you come up to failure and you don't have a clear understanding as to why something failed, you're left with this huge stinking, well, maybe stinking is another word, but it's like a huge feeling of saltiness. You're salty because it didn't work out. And then the reasoning why is unknown to you, right? So the High Priestess, again, comes and fills in those blanks. I don't know what the blanks are in your life. I don't know what the questions you are, or what the questions you have are, but I feel you've looked, some of you, not all of you, or maybe, again, this is your first time looking into it. Some of you have spent a considerable amount of time trying to understand from a spiritual perspective what's going on in your life. That's interesting. I just suddenly got very dizzy. And I am well fed, so it's not a matter of eating or hydration, but that's very interesting. That happens every once in a while when I do readings. Oh. I don't know what that means. I'm going to try and push through this because it's like dissipating. So it's like very quickly that suddenly my equilibrium felt a little strange. And I'm sitting down, I'm in sweats, you know, I'm in a very comfortable temperature of a room. I'm eating, I'm drinking, so it's nothing to do with my body. It should be nothing to do with my body. So yeah, that's happened like once or twice before. And one time I fainted. So that was interesting. Anyway, that's more for me as the reader. So maybe some of you are having physiological responses as you do this work, as you make these considerations. Maybe whatever you lost, because that's also why I like doing this tiered reading, is because it touches everything, or all the cards touch, meaning they're related. So you may have had a significant loss here with the Five of Cups that has put you into a physiological disarray, or has affected you physiologically, let's say. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm getting the sense of like in a pattern, in a loop, you keep coming up to similar obstacles or similar situations where you think you have something and you think it's solid and you think it's reliable and you've locked it down, and it turns out you don't, and that thing or that person leaves your life, right? That touches the High Priestess in the sense of what I understand the High Priestess to be is this cosmic being, this energy that exists universally for all people, and you can access this energy. It comes and it's represented on this card as a person, but it is sort of like this, I don't know. I wish I could describe better like how I conceptualize personally the High Priestess, but I always struggle with this because I can see it as a person. I can see it as just energy. I can see it as people down here on Earth who are, avatars, so to speak, for the High Priestess, but whatever. So regardless of how you conceptualize or how you could visualize what the High Priestess is, or what you already know it is to you, the function of the High Priestess is a gatekeeper, right? Is one that stands between the portals of this world and other worlds, and any other world that you can think of, any other realm or place of consciousness that you can think of, right? So because of that, there's a wealth of knowledge, all knowledge, some people say, the Akashic records, right, exist in her hands or exist in her body or in her mind, however you conceive of this energy, right? So you turn your questions, your woeful questions, up to the High Priestess, who already knows the answer, but cannot give you the answer. The High Priestess is often depicted or described as being mute or silent, despite knowing everything. From Omega or Alpha to Omega, knows everything, but will not say word the first. So that then complicates things for someone like you, Aries, who normally wants to know what is going on, what are the details, how can I get what I want out of this situation. The High Priestess is very mum, is very hush-hush about it. And the communication or the information that you need from her or you desire from her, that you're seeking from her, is not going to come as easily or as discernible as me talking to you right now on a recorded video, which, whatever, I'm not going to get into the icon, the visual of it, but it's this knowing, it's this intuitive knowing or intuitive understanding, let's say, intuitive understanding that you might have to familiarize yourself with, or that you might be considering for the first time. You might be reconsidering if you used to believe something, especially since it's also touching the Two of Cups. And again, the Two of Cups often to people resonates as a soulmate card, or they read it as a soulmate card. They perceive it as such. And you may have, again, with the example of those who have been divorced or going through some type of breakup, or have been single for a long time, and you're like, why am I still single? Some of you are pondering, was that the best I could have gotten back there with the person I was with before? And or you're questioning at the same time, and or is there someone out there who is my true Two of Cups? There's an unknown here, and that's attached to the High Priestess. I think for me, the I suppose how could I say it? The quality of the High Priestess that I would encourage you to take away is that it's guided. Your situation is guided or overlooked, let's say. You're being cared for by entities, by source, by the universe, by God, whatever you believe in or don't believe in, because the High Priestess is here. And there is some type of, for me personally, solace in knowing that even though things didn't work out previously, and there might be questions that plague you, that make you feel a little dismayed, or some of you leave you wallowing, or some of you making you feel salty or angry or frustrated or whatever it is, there's a purpose to it all that, yes, that carries you forward. Everything, nothing stops. No tragedy in life makes time stop. No loss in life makes the passage of time stop or the progression of life stop. Everything must continue, and it moves down the line, right? Therefore, it doesn't destroy you. It doesn't stop you. It doesn't bar you from something. And again, this is like a little heavy, but there's a lot to like in the High Priestess. I could go on for a long time. Again, chatty Cathy here. But we'll press on and we'll go to the fifth position, because that is what I got excited about, because I'm like, even though there's this need or there's this desire to get answers from a source or from an entity or whatever you believe in or don't believe in, that isn't answering you back as clearly as I am speaking to you, you must know, you must trust, and you must not do anything. Please take that all with a grain of salt too. But I would encourage you to have faith that everything is working out in your favor, even if in your present moment it doesn't seem that way, doesn't feel that way. Yeah? Because your other card on this line, their fifth position, same meaning. It's a gift, it's a wish, it's what's coming to you, what you've asked for, and what's here that is sort of meant to enhance the experience of you. The experience of you. Oh my God, I can't even talk. But how you're being rewarded, let's go ahead and say. Wheel of Fortune, secondary major arcana for Sagittarius, also associated with the fixed signs. So that would be Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. You could be dealing with any of those signs or none at all. It really is just to sort of educate you on what the tarot cards mean. So Wheel of Fortune, kind of like the name says, there's a potential of fortune here. It's going to spin like a wheel. Maybe it comes up in your favor, maybe it doesn't. And, that kind of falls in place with what I was saying a moment ago. Some of you are like skeptical about how this can be working out for you when you keep hitting obstacle after obstacle, loss after loss, complication after complication, and you're just like pulling your hair out. Nothing is going the way I want. I'm not finding the perfect match. I'm not meeting people that are believing in my business ideas the way I believe in them, and I want to work with someone creatively, or I want to work with someone in terms of, proper investments, or how to make my money work for me, whatever your goal is. And it's just like you keep getting false starts. It's like trying to turn a car on, and the engine never kicks on, and you're like, son of a bitch, I want this car to turn on so that I can drive down this road and progress with my life. So these delays and these setbacks and these complications, it gets you into this headspace of nothing is going in my favor. And that could be so in the moment. But again, I'm telling you, consider what most tarot readers would tell you about the Wheel of Fortune. It always spins. It always turns in your favor, eventually, right? And that's the ebb and flow of life. Point out a human being on this earth that from point A, being born, to point B, dying, has had everything at every moment work out for them. please point to that human being. Send me a link, send me their socials, their social media handles and names and all that stuff. Send me their address so I can write them a nice little thank you card, or, just inquire about them. There is no human on this earth that has that experience, friend. So that is the principle of the Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes it's in your favor, sometimes it's not, but eventually it will turn. Eventually it will turn. Now, as we apply it here to your reading, Aries, it touches the Two of Cups. Hey, now we're turning that corner, and it applies to that Page of Pentacles. Hey, now, auspicious future, or the potential of prosperity down the line. It doesn't happen overnight. This is a slow-moving energy. Number one, the High Priestess is not rushed for anything. And then the Wheel of Fortune, it is a matter of time. It's simply a matter of time. And my thing that I'm feeling from not all Aries, but a good amount of you that are resonating with this message is, I want it today. I want it now. And girl, guy, I totally relate. Leo over here, my patience is not the best either. But I'm sensing that some of you are like, I needed this turn of events yesterday. I needed this better fortune yesterday. I needed to meet the love of my life, the person who I'm going to be with for the rest of my life yesterday. Apparently not. Because according to the Akashic records, according to the person or the entity or the whatever you believe in, that kind of knows what's been written for the most part in your book of life, is like, no, you weren't ready. And consider that. If you had some type of loss, I don't care what it is, here with the Five of Cups coming into your birthday period, let's say the end of 2019 was, total garbage. Oh my God, why is that kid screaming like that? Really jarred me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my God. I hope she's okay, or he's okay. Could have been a boy. Anyway, I don't care what your loss is here with the Five of Cups. Financially, loss of a relationship, loss of a friendship. Some of you lost a part of yourself. You kind of became someone you never knew you would be. Whatever it is. How much sense would it make that directly on the tail end of that loss, the next day, let's say the next day, imagine it. Thank you. Literally imagine it. For those who, I'm just going to use this as a scenario, but please apply it to your situation. The day you broke up with your last partner, the finalization of your divorce, whatever it is, literally imagine the next day you met this soulmate. You met this person who, is just like your perfect partner in crime, so to speak. Would you be ready? No, you wouldn't, because you didn't grieve. Because you wouldn't have had the time of separation and reestablishing this connection with yourself. You wouldn't have that time spent to realize not all is lost. That is the point of the Five of Cups. Not all is lost, right? That takes time to have that realization. That takes time for us to wake up to. So some of you are like, I wanted it yesterday. You weren't ready yesterday. Apparently you're ready today. According to this. High Priestess and the Wheel of Fortune. You were not ready when you thought you were, which is, again, tell a fire sign that, and they give you the shadiest look. What do you mean? Don't tell, telling a fire sign what they are able to do or what they're ready for is like, again, telling a child to go sit down in a corner and be silent for 10 minutes. Be completely silent. Don't move. Not going to happen. It's a very difficult task for the child to do that. It's a very difficult task for an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius, but this is your reading. It's very difficult to be told, wait. It's very difficult to be told, not yet. It's very difficult to be told, you are not ready. Aries believes themselves to be capable of practically anything. Your confidence is through the roof, and it should be. That's part of your archetype. Very interesting. So your sixth position, well, let me get a drink of water first because I can tell I might have had a cough coming through. I apologize for having to stop, but like I said, I've talked all day. Excuse me. So your sixth position is again a wish. Like these are more internal wishes, or these are more things that show up in your life and you can kind of see them in the more 3D space sometimes, not all the time. But this one is also a wish, but it's coming from, let's say, your higher self or some deeper intuitive part of yourself. This is a direct gift from the universe. These gifts can turn up in the form of people. Like I said, it can show up. Sometimes I can see the High Priestess being a person that, again, is like an avatar, but I'm not sensing that for you. So you might be getting, pardon me. Oh, and they're all, oh, no, 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 no. But these two are majors, so that's interesting. There's a lot of influence from the universe. Let's just say that. Because at the top of the cake is the ultimate wish or the deepest wish, right? So, and by the way, yeah, this is supposed to be like a two-tiered cake. I'm so creative. That's a joke. I mean, I am creative, but you know, I've been doing this reading for like 2 years or 1 year. Focus. Dang you, focus. There you go. So Seven of Swords at the top. So you're like, well, how am I wishing for that? For those who are familiar with tarot, how and why would I be wishing for this? I think that because the Seven of Swords is about deception. The Seven of Swords is about manipulation. It's about things being sort of for show, things being put on and displayed for the sake of displaying them. Like there isn't a lot of substance when we talk about the Seven of Swords, or there's a potential for there to be people taking things more lightly than they should. I don't think you're wishing for that in your life. I think you're wanting that to go away, right? Because this guy looks, I mean, that's normally what happens in the Seven of Swords. We have someone who's trying to go away or get away with something, right? So if they're, okay. Thank you. Because of the cycle and the pattern. Cycles, patterns. Cycles and patterns. Got it. So for those where you have, again, been once, twice, thrice divorced, whatever it is, or you keep coming up into certain types of blocks in your relationships, or certain, you keep, quote unquote, I keep meeting the same type of guy. I keep dating the same type of girl. You don't want that anymore. Okay? So if you are used to dating people that lie, manipulate, or cheat on you, you don't want to do that anymore. Please, universe, please, God, please, whatever exists above my head, in the ethers above, please remove that energy from me, or remove those types of people from me. Now, when you ask that of the universe, Aries, or that's something that you've wished for, if you haven't asked for it directly, you may have like sat and stewed on it. You may have journaled about it. You may have talked to your best friends about it. I can't meet a good man to save my life, blah, 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 blah. Just speaking like that is a form of wishing, by the way. If you didn't know, it's a way of manifesting. Just speaking aloud your intentions or your desires is a way to tell the universe what you want. So when you do that, it takes a minute. The universe works on its own time, and again, Aries is very like, I want it yesterday. And the universe is letting you know, yeah, that's not coming for a minute. And it's not to punish you. It's not to, to hurt you. It's just, again, you weren't ready. So you're saying, I can't find any good men, or I can't find an ideal wife or a great business partner. If, again, this could be centering back towards family for some of you. I can't get along with my brother. I can't get along with my mother. Why? That person and or the energy that person exists in, or those people are represented by, has to make a ceremonial exit from your life. So, that's interesting. That's very specific. So they want to point to a few of you, not all of you, clearly, a few of you who have kept the door open to your ex. Thank you. You see how one of the gate doors is a little more open than the other one? Some of you have kept a door open to these previous relationships, to these people that have broken your heart, or that you have had argumentative and very conflicting or relationships that are full of conflict. You kept that door open. Until you fully close it, you're not going to get the change that you want. So there is this cycle, repeated cycle of that. There is a slow moving away from that once you accept and understand that to a certain degree, Aries is out of your control. To a certain degree, Aries, you weren't ready. To a certain degree, Aries, you may have been clinging on to the past. That's for a few of you, where if the ex rings you up, you just answer the phone. Why? If you and them agreed that, or one of you, whatever it is, whatever the, or the condition of your breakup is, whatever it is, it's now done for those where it was. Why open that door if you're not fully healed or they're not fully healed? Or, it's in some of your cases a revolving door relationship or a hit back. A hit back is, oh God, I've never done a hit back. And when I say hit back, what do I mean? Like this situation where there's like a long period of we're not together, and then there's a long period of we are together, and then we're not together, and then I find a revolving door to be more one-sided. I feel a hit back is more, we both go our separate ways. We might date other people, but then we always end up back together. And that's kind of exhausting. And I've never done it. I've only lived through one. No, we're not going to talk about it. Anyway, let's turn and get you an oracle card now, Aries, for your birthday period. We have several decks over here, but let's see which one my guides are gonna assign to you today. Spirit, yes, postcards from Spirit by Colette Baron Reed. I like this deck. So neat, so neat, so neat, so neat. Individual postcards. I got like these long passages on them. There's no guidebook. You just read the postcard as it comes out. So let's do a couple of shuffles here. We'll read the message, and then that'll be it. One card for Aries during their birthday season. Please show me. One card for Aries during their birthday season to guide them. Insights and influence and information for them. What do they need to know for their highest good during their birthday season through this deck, please? They want a couple of sides. Sure, I'll help you. Sometimes they're particular. Do a side one. We like it when you do it the sideways. Do a few of these. Oh, do you like that? Okay, they like that. Oh. Maybe I'll do a twofer because I didn't pick that up. Oh, there's two. Or is there more than two? If there's more than two, then I'm not going to take it. Oh, there's more than two. Okay, so we will shuffle. Because I was going to say, if that was like literally one card, that would have been your card, probably. Let's get one message for Aries, please. During their birthday season, what's the oracle message for them today? To help guide them through. Stop? Yeah. Stop? Yes, thank you. All right, let's see. Let's see, Aries, what the postcard says. It says, Dearest you, if you allow your awareness to settle in, you will hear us whispering sweetness and encouragement to you. You will know the truth of things that cannot be discerned through the material world. Come on, guys. This was the one for you. The receiver for this kind of essential knowing is your intuition, which is not your sixth sense, but the primary navigational system of your soul. You are entering the age of consciousness. It's time to accept that the paranormal is normal. Human beings are multisensory, multidimensional beings. Spirit infuses all things, and your soul's job is to discover those essential truths here on earth where we all agreed to play. Trust your spidey sense. Read between the lines. Tune into the stories behind the stories, and your world will show you miracles. Fear not, for we are right here, and Spirit loves you. Trust the invisible. So I'm going to hold that up, and you can go ahead and pause it and read it for yourself if you'd like. But that definitely applies to your second line here with the High Priestess and the Wheel of Fortune. A little bit with, I think, the Page of Pentacles. That could, just quickly to plug back to that real quick, this Page of Pentacles could be your own energy, Aries. Page is pardon me, pages again are students. They are learning. They're learning something new. In terms of pentacles, you might be learning a new way to stabilize yourself, to provide a firm foundation for yourself. Again, I don't normally mention so many times the possibility of someone who has never watched tarot before, not just me, but anybody. Some of you, this is a brand new world to you. That could be what the Page of Pentacles is talking about in conjunction with that Oracle card, okay? Aries, that is your birthday message. I hope that you liked it. If you did, the like button is down below. I want you to hit that for me if you feel so inclined. If you want to leave a message down below, a little comment, let me know how this resonates in your life. Please feel free to do so as well. Sharing the video would be amazing. And of course, subscribing is also amazing if you want to do any and all of those things. It shows your support to the channel as me as a reader here on YouTube, because there's so many of us out here, my friends, so many. So doing any and all of that stuff would be great. Again, if you want to look for me over on Instagram, it's EmpathicFire Tarot over on Instagram, and all the information you need for a personal is down below if you feel so inclined. Aries, I thank you again for watching. I will see you for this particular reading for your birthday period in a year. I didn't mention at the top, so for those who are here at the tail end, you're going to hear me speak this verbally. Your live for your birthday session will be April the 11th. I'm thinking probably around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I might change that around because I usually do it at that time, and I want to open it up and maybe do it a little bit later or earlier to kind of get a different crowd in. We'll see. But for now, it would be April the 11th at 7 p.m. if you have a question for me as a tarot reader and you want it to be answered, because I like to answer questions. Feel free to join me on the 11th. I'll do quick little mini readings for anybody who has a question in the chat. Again, for Aries specifically, because it is your birthday period, all right? All right, that is truly the end, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.